Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. I'm Adam Ferns and this is basically a bit of a favour for a friend who asked me to do this video, and a bit of a informational video for people that don't understand or don't know all the bits and pieces of this topic. This is basically me talking about each type in Pokemon, saying what their weaknesses are and their resistances, along with immunities if they have any. I am expecting this to be a rather long video because I'm going through all 18 types in one sitting. So we're going to be going through each type in alphabetical order. So let's start things off with the bug type. The weaknesses to bug types are fire, flying, and rock. All for pretty obvious reasons. And the resistances to bug is ground, fighting, and grass. So any of those types attack bug types, they won't take as much damage, let's say, from water types. Water types would not do super effective, but not very effective. Dark is weak to bug, fighting, and fairy. Typically, I'm not really sure why bug, but fighting and fairy because good prevails over evil. Dark resists ghost and dark type attacks, and dark is also immune to psychic. That was there just to make psychic types a bit weaker than they were in Gen 1. The dragon type is weak to itself, ice, and fairy. Ice because dragons are cold-blooded, dragons are only strong enough to kill other dragons, and fairy because good versus evil thing. Resistances dragon has is grass, water, fire, and electric. So basically, if there's a dragon type gym leader in the game that you choose and you go starter only, you're going to struggle because all your starters are either any one of those types. Unless you chose Let's Go Eevee. Electric next is now. Weaknesses is ground, and the resistances are steel, electric, and flying. Steel, I'm not entirely sure on. I think it just has to do with the fact that steel conducts electricity. Ground, because ground is strong against electric because obvious reasons. You can't electrocute the ground, it will just absorb the electricity and do nothing with it. Electric is resistant to electric because, it's like thunder versus thunder. And flying is electric is resistant to flying for the simple reason I don't see what a bird can do to a power line. Normally they'll just get shocked by it. Next is fairy type. It's weak to steel and poison, swords and acid, let's say. Resistance is dark. The resistance to fairy is dark, fighting, and bug. Dark because good won't do much to evil. Evil won't do much to good. Fighting because I'm not actually sure why for that one. And bug, I'm not really sure why either. I'm not really here to explain why. I'm just here to just say what they're good against and all that. And fairy types are immune to dragon types, basically to make dragon types a bit less overpowered. Fighting types is next. Fighting types' weaknesses are psychic, flying, and fairy, and resistances are dark, rock, and bug. That's it. Next is fire. Weaknesses are water, ground, and rock. Resistances are grass, steel, fire, fairy, ice, and bug. Next is flying. Weaknesses are ice, rock, and electric. Resistances are grass, fighting, and bug. Its immunity is ground. Next is ghost type. Weaknesses are ghost and dark. Resistances are poison and bug, and immunities are normal and fighting. Next is the grass type. Weaknesses are poison, fire, ice, flying, and bug. 5 weaknesses. And resistances are water, grass, electric, and ground. I would say the worst out of the starting trios for that type. Ground is next. Weaknesses is water, grass, and ice. Resistances are poison and rock. Immunity is electric. Next is ice. Weaknesses is fire, steel, rock, and fighting. Resistance is ice. And there's your answer why ice is the worst type. Resistance is only to itself. And weakness is 4 very common types. Well, 3 very common and 1 not very common, but you get my point. Next is normal. Weakness is fighting. Resistance, none. Immunity, ghost. Poison is weak to ground and psychic, and resistant to grass, poison, fairy, bug, and fighting. Psychic is weak to ghost, dark, and bug. Resistance is psychic and fighting. Rock is weak to water, grass, steel, ground, and fighting. Resistant to fire, poison, flying, and normal. Oh god. Okay, this is the best type by far here. Steel, weak to fire, ground, and fighting. 3 rather common types. Okay. Resistant to grass, steel, fairy, ice, dragon, psychic, flying, rock, normal, and bug. Immunity to poison. And I think that's enough reason to the steel types is the best. And last but not least is the water type. Weakness is grass and electric. Resistances are water, fire, steel, and ice. And that's it. I thought I'd be here for a while, but I just dished them all out because I do have other videos planned to do today, and this one was just a extra video for a friend who is getting back into playing Pokemon after taking a bit of a break and forgot all about types, and he asked if I can do this for him, and I did. He didn't say how descriptive it had to be, he just said so he can understand it. And hopefully you can understand it, and it's also like a lesson for all of you, so then you would know the type combinations, so you know what types to use, what types to not use. I will say though, I don't know why he asked me to do it, because we battle in Gen 7, but since he hasn't played Gen 7 in a while, I think he forgot that Gen 7 says what types do what to your opponent in multi-battles anyway. I'm not going to complain, it was an extra video I could have done, and yeah, rather quick one. But I've gone through all 18 types with their weaknesses and the types they're resistant to, and that is it, along with their immunities for some of them. And that's it. So that's all for this time. If you liked what you saw or heard, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press that notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.